Hey, what's going on YouTube, and welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the in-game news for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, see what kinds of content's coming out, and then go ahead and show you how to get some killers, doing trials and things that are in the game right now that can get you ready for the content that's coming out later this week. This week I think is, compared to the last couple weeks, pretty exciting just because there is actually quite a bit to do. And thankfully we don't need 9 different types of killers this week like we did a couple weeks ago. We just need 2. We're going to talk about what you need and where you can get it and what we're going to get ready for. So to start us out, we're going to do this first piece of content. All of it's Final Fantasy 13 related, which is cool. If you're a Final Fantasy 13 fan, I've never played it, so it is what it is. But the first one here is this one, The Escape's End. This is the raid event that we're getting for the week against this machine enemy, the Midlight Reaper. It is not weak or resistant to any element. And like all raids, you can only break its attack and magic or give it a disease. I don't know what disease you would give a machine, probably some sort of like worm or Trojan or something like that. I don't know. But you can get some gear. These are all updated items from stuff that we've had before. Free killers for machines. I never turn down free killers, especially ones that also have stats on them. So it is what it is. Pretty cool. But definitely want to get some machine killer to get ready for it. And then also if we scroll down, we see that there is going to be an exploration event as well. The exploration is another repeat of an old exploration that we had, but it's been updated with new stuff. There are now 2 bosses in this event, the Alpha Behemoth and the Astro Protoflorian. The Alpha Behemoth is 50% resistant to fire and lightning and weak to water at 50%. It is a beast. And then the machine enemy Astro Protoflorian has no resistances, but it is 50% weak to light. Now, both these bosses are interesting in that you can only break their defense and spirit, so obviously bringing some sort of tank to protect you from their attacks is probably going to be pretty important. And it does say in here that this exploration is only limited to Final Fantasy 13 category units. So as far as tanks for Final Fantasy 13 go, the main one that comes to mind is Snow, Solitary Patron Snow. But we're going to take a look at a unit that we're going to get this week, which is pretty exciting. So there you go. Tungsten Bangle, Hawkeye, and Edge Carbine. Again, all items that are old and getting updated. So kind of cool. But we know we're going to need beast and machine enemies and killers. So there you have it. The next piece of content that we're going to get is the Sanctum of the People. And this is where I was talking about we're getting a free unit. We're getting Sid Reigns as an enhancement unit, and he is a magic tank according to his tags. Now, I don't know how good of a magic tank he is. He's a free unit, so, you know, I guess Runda sets the bar for like free physical tanks. So like, is he going to be as good as Runda? We will see. But also seems to do some light damage based on what we see here. He's a tank and an attacker. So maybe if the bosses primarily do physical damage, we can use Sid Reigns as a tank instead of Snow if you don't have Snow. I happen to have Snow, so I'll probably just be taking Snow. But, you know, obviously we're going to be getting Sid here as well. Now, this is again against a behemoth, a beast enemy. Sorry, I needed water. Again, against a beast enemy, the greater behemoth has no resistances. Again, weak to fire, earth, and light. So we've got some options for how we can take it out. We're going to need a lot of beast killer. And because of that, we're going to be going after getting some beast killer tonight on this video. So you'll see how to do that. But, you know, free unit. I do like free units. Nothing to complain about there. I'm glad he's not being skipped. The next one that we're going to be getting is the Beasts Hemmed in Stone. This is the last thing we're going to be getting, really. It is against this is a gear strengthening event for Zaz, his gun. The bosses are these 2 guys here. They are beasts, Enki and Enlil. They are kind of opposites. So Enki is 100% resistant to water, but 20% weak to lightning. And Enlil is 100% resistant to lightning, but 20% weak to water. So you know probably don't want to use water or lightning on this fight unless you've got really good imperils. Yeah, you can use theoretically anything else. So yeah, I'm probably gonna be taking lightning anyway. I mean, the Rebellion units and Final Fantasy 13 all get a 200% boost in their stats. So I'm kind of inclined to take lightning to this, even though the boss is resistant to lightning. So we can just use nice imperils and hopefully do plenty of damage. So that's kind of my plan, but you know, maybe we'll have some fun with it. We'll see. You can use all the breaks you want and get this done. But as you can see, we need lots of Beast Killer and lots of Machine Killer. Now, as far as the other units that we're getting this week, we are getting Vanille, we are getting Zaz, kind of exciting. You know, if you do this like this step up with the guaranteed at the end, it's only like 27k. If you do that and then go on to this, you end up spending quite a bit of Lapis. You could go up to 63k. If you just do the first 4 steps and then do the laps down here, like you spend a little bit less. It's like 50 to 53. Either way, no matter how you slice it, it's an expensive pity for a unit. So like if you're really hoping to get Vanille, for example, you spend 27k here and get Zaz, knowing that you're going to have to spend an additional fair amount just to get the rest of the tickets that you need to guarantee your Vanille. It's a lot. I mean, 63 is a lot. 63 is more than what we're used to paying for premiums, but theoretically you're getting 2 units in there. So divide 63 by 2 and we're like, what? 31.5k is not bad for a unit. But hopefully you don't have to spend all 63k to get both these units. Hopefully you get some more along the way. There are some guaranteeds on there, you know, right, 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th one is guaranteed to be one of these 2. And we got some free summons on there. Not the worst, I guess, but yeah. Zaz is here, Vanille is here. Exciting. We're getting some vision cards. We're getting leader skills and ability upgrades. Lots of exciting stuff coming out, and then also a live stream. So kind of neat. They have this new little Moogle on here that has not been on the previous live stream banners, which is kind of cool. And then it says producer Fujimoto, Tony, and Justin will be there to tell us about the latest updates. So hopefully it's exciting. It is on Monday, September 18th at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which is 9 p.m. for me. That's a weird time of day. The last time they did one of these weird ones, it was like for the Malphasi release, which was strangely, you know, right after the Zidane and Eiko banner. So like we got a unit with a good leader, got a unit with a good leader skill and a good imperil field the week before, and then like they had this weird banner on Monday, and then it had Malphasi, who's a really, really fantastic unit. So it makes me wonder if, like, you know, we're getting Zaz and Vanille on Thursday, and then there's a live stream coming out on Monday, you know, 7 hours before the news drops. So it's like, are they doing that again? Is like, so Vanille's coming, and then is somebody else who does a bunch of who does a bunch of field effects is coming, or who knows? Who knows what they're pulling here? I'm curious to see what it's going to be on Monday, but it does make me a little hesitant to pull, even with tickets on Monday, until we know, or on Thursday, until we see what's coming out on Monday. So I don't know. We'll see. But there you go. So really, as far as all the content goes, really only need Beast Killer and Machine Killer. So we'll talk a little bit about where you can pick those up. Now, I have talked Machine to death lately. I feel like we've talked about Machine like every week for the past 6 weeks, between like Clash of Wills and all that Final Fantasy 13 stuff that we've had in the past couple of weeks. So like, I feel like talking about Machine is just like beating a dead horse. But here you go. You can get Machine Eater Sense from Dullahan, Rising Sun. You could go after the Death Machine and get like the craftable recipes for it. But there's all this other stuff like Mechanic for the Royal Families, 100%. Valued Memories from Irvin is going to be good for Beasts and Machines, as is Vortex of the Past and Hatred. Anti-Armor Tactics from Call is really good. Lots of good Machine Killer in the game. It's a very, very common killer. Beast is also very common. But as far as like where you can get the Beast Killer materia, Dullahan is really, really easy, so we don't need to do that one. I've done that one a ton. We're gonna go after the Beast one instead, and you get the Beast Killer one from Rafflesia. Now, Rafflesia is kind of an annoying boss, or has been kind of an annoying boss for a while. And we're going to show you how to do it tonight with a new unit who just recently got an NBA. We're going to use Karlette. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So you could also, though, go after, you can go to Cerberus to get the craftable recipes and make your own beast killers. Again, valued memories. Vortex of the past and hatred, of course, beast killer from the chests. Beast is pretty common, not too hard to find it. But that's going to be kind of where you're picking this up. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way, and we'll go after Rafflesia. Now, again, in case you've never seen it, Rafflesia is in the Vortex under Nemesis and the 12 types takedown. Roll all the way down. There it is. Actually, he's only about halfway down. And Rafflesia here, the advanced version gives you Plant Killer Plus and Beast Eater Sense as long as you beat the boss within 15 turns. Now, you could take a party of 6 if you really wanted to, if you don't want these 5 STMR tickets. You could use items if you really want to for an NV ticket or a banner ticket. Those are definitely skippable. The materials, though, are really good, so definitely make sure you beat the quest and be within 15 turns. The strategy Moogle tells us this is a plant enemy. Its HP, when it drops below a certain level, its behavior change. Make sure you keep your water resistance raised. It uses skills that change effects of a certain probability, and he's going to drain your MP, and he starts healing when you weaken him too much. So definitely things we want to keep an eye out for, and we're just going to grab a strong friend here and get into it. So I did ask some people to prepare some friend units for Karlettes, and MK Ultra was able to get us through the stream tonight, learning how to do this fight with this team. So thank you so much, MK, for that. If you want to see MK's Karlette in action, definitely go and watch the stream replay over on Twitch. But right now, the only one that's showing up out of everybody is Chip Patel, who has been on a Beige Carpet review before, also built a Karlette for us. Now, DBerry17, his Karlette was showing up, but his Karlette had the wrong killers. So it's kind of funny, Barry's always kind of like setting up units for people and they never show up. Tonight his Karlette showed up, but it had the wrong killers, so awkward. But here's our team. So notice we do technically have a leader skill in Ingus here, but not really doing much for our damage dealers. They're really just boosting Karlette or Abigail. So we're not even going to worry about Ingus's leader skill, just because it doesn't really apply here. But it is there. So let's go ahead and look at the clear, and then we'll take a look at the gear at the end of it. So let's go ahead and pop the actions up. Where are the actions at? Where are my actions at, though? There we go. And let's go ahead and do this thing. Okay. So we're going to start with Abigail. Abigail is going to go ahead and triple, and she's going to cast Veil for us to give us status immunity, just in case like you couldn't gear for it. So you could gear for other stuff and just like skip status immunity using Abigail. Now you do have to worry about like, does the buff wear out? Does the boss dispel you? Things like that. If you're doing it this way, you just got to pay attention. We're going to cast Veil though. We're going to go ahead and cast Contingency Plan, and then we're going to go ahead and cast Shelga for mitigations as well. There we go. Ingus is going to go ahead and apply the best break he can and use full breakdown. And then he is going to use Fill LB just to kind of get his LB ready to go. And because mine is EX1. And then we're going to use Wind Slash. That's going to put a nice Wind Imperil field on the boss, as well as a reasonable break, just to get us started. Bulwark is going to do, he's going to do Moogly Mixtape to get his triple cast going, and then go ahead and cast Oro Blanco's Overture to give us Plant Killer. And then our Karlettes are going to just chain it up. We're going to use Quintuple Cast. We're going to use Dystopic Wind, Aerial Creation, 4 times. And they're just going to chain those together. So there's that. There we go. And we're going to do a little bit of damage. So when I was doing this on stream, we were doing about 3 to 4% damage here on this turn. There we go, 4%, not bad. Okay. MP management is kind of annoying. It's a thing we got to deal with. It is what it is. So on this turn, we're going to have Ingus go ahead and use his LB. That's going to put a bigger break on the boss and technically a worse Imperil Field. But we're going to put the Imperil Field back in place next turn. There we go. Speaking of dealing with MP issues, we're going to use triple here. We're going to use a bigger wind amplify for our Karlettes using Tempest Tango. We're going to use MP Fill Electric Ensemble. There we go. And then we will go ahead and use Plant Killer again, just to keep the buff fresh. There we go. Our Karlettes are going to use Aerial Creation 4 times, and then use I'm Still Worried. That is going to do a big magic boost for the next turn. A little bit of chaining, and then a magic boost. There we go. Before we do, Abigail is just going to go ahead and use her cover, and then just kind of her long-term 87% breaks, just to go ahead and have them there. Doesn't really do a whole lot for us. Not really a whole lot else we need to do right this moment. So we'll go ahead and do that. And yeah. And then we'll just chain with Karlette. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, great. Very good. Okay. So from here, we're going to go ahead and with Ingus, just reapply Wind Slash. That's going to put the bigger Wind Imperil Field in place. Awesome. We're going to have Abigail use her SLB, mitigations for the party, and then a weapon Imperil for Karlette. Because we don't have a sword Imperil from anywhere else. All right, and then we're just going to use our SLBs here. And then afterwards, Bulwark is going to use his LB to restore MP for the party. So let's go ahead and drop those SLBs. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. So Bulwark, you know, you could do a couple things here. I guess you could... He fills his own LB gauge. You know, if you're depending on what you're worried about, you could use MP Restore for Ingus and for, you know, anybody who needs it. Really don't need anything from Bulwark, so I guess we could, if we really wanted to, just go ahead and keep Mixtape going, keep the buffs fresh, you know, and we will just yeah, Bulwark's theme, why not? As you can see, our Abigail is built for countering. Helps us keep the MP topped off for the party as much as we can. Ingus is going to refresh his breaks, so Menacing Nature. Our Karlettes, we are going to quintuple. We're going to redo Dystopic Wind, 3 creations, and then fill LB. So again, Dystopic Wind, 3. Nope, not Cosmic. Come on, where are you? Too many things, too many skills. It's a good thing, good problem to have. Dystopic Wind, 3 creations, and then fill LB. That way we can use her LB next turn. And Bulwark at the end. We're gonna save Bulwark for just a second. So we're we're good there. Yeah, Abigail's gonna refresh her cover and our Veil and our Shelga. Go ahead and let Ingus go, and then Karlette can go. Okay, and then depending on what you feel like you need, you can do whatever. Bulwark is just going to use his LB, restore some MP. There we go. Okay. Notice our boss put up Reflect, so we definitely don't want to cast magic on him. Instead, we're going to use our LBs on our Karlettes. And we're going to chain together our Bulwark and our Ingus to bridge the gap between Karlette's LBs, because their LBs have a nice big break in the middle of it. So we're going to send Karlette first, and then Ingus and Bulwark. So we'll send Karlette first, and then Ingus and Bulwark. Very nice. Now we're kind of out of MP for Ingus, but we don't really care. It's fine. And Abigail at this point could do a bunch of different things. Don't really need to do any of it though. So I guess we'll just bar Phyragia 3 times just to fill LB gauges for our Karlettes. Why not? Okay. I guess they didn't really need it because they got their SLBs here. We're not going to use them just yet, though. We're going to go ahead and do quintuple. We're going to do 4 creations, and I'm still worried. Just like we did the last time. 4 creations. I'm still worried. Bulwark is going to triple and do mixtape and plant killer. And we can get Tempest Tango next time. What does this do? This does not Breezy Beat. What's the... What did I do? I can't remember what I did. It's okay. We'll go ahead and do Wind Slash here. Bigger Wind Imperil Field. There we go. We'll go ahead and let our Karlettes do their thing. There we go. Abigail will just cover and keep the brakes fresh. Bulwark can just use LB again to fill MP for Ingus. Okay. And we're on turn 7, so we'll go ahead and use the Sword Imperil. LB, LB. And hopefully this will be enough. We will see. And see if we can't knock this thing out. Now, we've got the Wind Imperil field up. We got Plant Killer buff, I think. Let's check and make sure. Yep, we got Plant Killer. Or do we? Beast, humans, aquatics, insect, beast, humans, aquatic. No, we don't have Plant Killer. That's what we got to do. So we'll use mixtape. No, we won't. We'll just use Plant Killer. Do we have wind? We have wind added? We don't have wind added. Where's our wind? Right here. Tempest Tango. That could have been a disaster. Okay. let's go ahead and send our Karlettes and see if we can't knock this thing out. Turn 7. There we go. That would have been a disaster, and we wouldn't have gotten the kill. Let's see who did the most damage. See the breakdown. Obviously, Karlette carried this thing. But who's Karlette? Chip, it was really close. It was really close. Kind of absurdly close, but we have basically the same build. You'll see, you'll see the build here in just a. How weird is that though? Ingus and Bulwark did almost the same damage too. Like that's a really funny breakdown. Wow. Okay. Okay, guys, I see you there. But that would have gotten you all the challenges. Again, 15 turns or less. We did it in 7. Party of 5. We got it 5. No items, and we beat the quest. So obviously that's fine. So let's take a look at our gear. And I will just say that Chip's Karlette was geared basically the same as mine, so it's fine. But we'll start with Abigail. Here we go. So I just geared Abigail for lots of water resist, and then high spirit and counter and death immunity from Blizzard Orb. You know, she was doing Veil for status immunity, so we didn't really need a gear for status immunity in her case. But if you're not using Veil, you need to kind of keep an eye on it because the boss does do a lot of statuses. Death is really important though, and so Blizzard Orb, there you go. Other than that, she just had a bunch of water resist and counter chance gear, and she's good to go. Ingus only fought in the shift form, and I loaded Ingus up on LB fill per turn and LB fill rate. He's our provoker, and he's got evasion. That's pretty much all he did, was just use his LB and then use his wind field. If you have a better unit for a better wind imperil field, like say Malphasy or like Echo, you could definitely use them. And especially if they would be like a leader skill unit that would buff up Karlette, then you'd do this even faster than 7 turns. But there you go. Charm immunity though. So people need charm immunity. So we got first rate treasure hunter here. Using the Vygar's approved vision card for LB fill. Goopy. Bulwark is too. We got 2 Vygar's approved vision cards. Bulwark only fought in the shift form. Again, first rate treasure hunter, and then just like evasion and kind of whatever. LB fill and death immunity. There you go. And then Karlettes. So Karlettes were kind of loaded out. Mine's kind of imbalanced. It is what it is. But you've got like, you know, high magic and then STMR, death immunity, good stats, chain damage, plant killer, charm immunity, chain cap up, all the stuff you need. You know, plant killer, LB, true double hand, chain cap. Chips was geared very similarly, and obviously did just fine. Had higher stats than me, actually lower magic, higher attack. I ended up doing more damage. What are you gonna do, right? Cool. Thank you so much though, Chip, for building up a Karlette so we can get this thing done. And now maybe you can get this done too if you've never done this for some reason. You can now see how Karlette, without a good leader skill in the party, could take this thing out in 7 turns. You probably go faster if you had a good leader skill or something like that. So yeah, cool. And we got to use Ingus and Bulwark, one of my favorite units. So pretty cool. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that gets you guys ready for the Beast Killer and the Machine Killer stuff that you need going on this week. Hopefully you're excited to see what's coming up in the live stream on Monday. And you come and check us out on Twitch over on Thursday. That's when we're doing all the live stuff, all the new content live. And we'll have some fun with it and hang out with the community. And yeah, have a good time. In the meantime, you guys be good to each other. Take care. See you later. And we will see you on Thursday.